Welcome back to Friar Talk, everyone. This is the second live stream of the day, and there potentially will be another if there are some more trades that the Padres end up making. I did a live earlier, just me talking about the Josh Hader trade. I think it was like 40 minutes long, so I said a long piece on that. But the plan for today is I'm going to let Chase kind of give his thoughts on that Hader deal. Then we're going to talk about the Twins-Padres series. I'm going to do a little segment on Joe Musgrove, and then after that, we'll just start going through and doing deadline questions and really just going over anything that you guys have, probably primarily about the trade deadline. One other quick announcement before we start, though. I brought up that when we hit 2K, we're going to do a City Connect jersey giveaway. So I'm thinking, and we got to talk it over with us three, I'm thinking that we're going to do it probably next Sunday, if not next Sunday, early next week. So stay tuned for that because we are going to be giving a Padres City Connect jersey away. But Chase, what are you thinking about this Josh Hader deal, man? I know I like it. I think there's definitely risk whenever you're giving away a guy like guys like Gasser and Ruiz. But I mean, in terms of upgrading the bullpen, it is a massive upgrade. But how are you feeling about it?
I mean, I know they said they wanted to do closer by committee a few days ago, but it looks like you guys just traded for it instead. I would still like to see, I really wanted to see another righty, but Josh Hader has been one of the best closers in the MLB the past few years. We got a couple of years of control with them. We really didn't give up that much. Ruiz, he looked okay in his MLB at bats. Getting rid of him, I hope, that means we're going out there another center fielder because Grisham obviously isn't the answer. I don't know if that means they're going to also try to go for Soto. I believe Gasser was one of the guys that was really talked about in that trade just because he was one of the higher end pitching prospects in the system. But it's kind of sad to see Lamet go. He's been my guy for years. I really hyped him up in the 2020 season and everything, but hey, it was a money move. We got an all-star closer out of it. I know he's been struggling recently, but you have Garcia, you have Hader, you have Martinez, you have a couple other guys that you can rely on in the bullpen. I do still want to see one more righty reliever. I know maybe they're hoping that Pierce Johnson comes back. Maybe they're hoping Michelle Baez looks absolutely filthy after he's completely rehabbed from Tommy John. I don't know, but we'll see. But really like the deal. We really didn't give up that much. It was a really solid trade. Kind of sucks to see Rogers go though, but it makes sense considering the move.
Yeah, and also he's been struggling quite a bit. And I was talking about it when we were doing the stream of why I do like the deal, even though I think you did give up a significant amount to like upgrade your bullpen. But I was talking about for me, like it always wasn't necessarily like the hitting that was like the biggest issue of this team's struggles. But it was more that whenever the Padres pulled their starter, if they had a 1 or 2 run lead, you didn't feel like that was safe at all. You felt like, oh, this could easily get blown. And if you're in a, I think I said like a game 3 or a game 5 in the playoffs where it's 1-1 or 2-2, and it's like a big swing game, and you blow that lead, that potentially ends your season. So going out and getting a guy like Josh Hader and improving the bullpen a lot will help quite a bit. So I think there's definitely going to be more trades on the horizon. But before we move on from this trade, Chase, do you have any MLB comparisons for Robert Gasser?
As of right now, not in particularly. I know when his draft profile came out, I forgot who he was compared to, but it was one of those. He could be a mid-tier guy. So he threw a fastball, he throws a curveball, changeup, maybe like a Patrick Corbin in his prime. I wouldn't consider him to be like, oh, he's going to be an ace caliber pitcher, but he would probably be a 3-4 guy. Patrick Corbin of a few years ago, kind of like a Robbie Ray maybe, just without the sidearm. Though Robbie Ray kind of turned into an ace last year. Let me see how he's doing this year. But probably like one of those two guys.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute. But yeah, no. So I definitely think like that is a significant loss to the system, just because I know that Chase, you like Gasser a lot too coming out, and he's definitely one of the higher pitchers on the team. But you also added 4 premier prospect pitching prospects in the draft. So I think that's why they feel like they have a little bit more flexibility with that. Yeah, I was exactly right here. Losing doesn't mean much considering what having on pitching this draft. Yeah, Gil. I know Gil was really upset. Not really upset, but he definitely felt like Ruiz was the piece that hurt a lot. And Chase, I think that your point of we might see a center fielder added does make a lot of sense, just because right now, who's your backup center fielder behind Grisham? Profar? That's got to be the first guy in contention for that like backup spot. I'm guessing would be Profar. So you're definitely still pretty weak in the outfield. I think that you're going to see a Soto trade, or you're going to see like a Hab trade or something like that to improve this outfield. Also, I know that Myers is expected to come back tonight. I don't know if you saw that, Chase, but that's also a significant upgrade to this team, even though I know Myers is not the best, but he is an upgrade over apparent what Mazzara has been hitting. I don't know if you've seen recently, Chase, but Mazzara in his last like 15 games barely has over a 250 slug hitting. He's been struggling a lot. But
I saw his OPS the other day. It was in the hundreds. I'm like, wow, that went downhill quick.
Yeah, he's been slumping a lot. So I think that we are going to see some sort of upgrade. But let's talk about this Twin Series a little bit. So the Padres come out. They win on Friday with the City Connects. Absolute offensive explosion, home run after home run. Maybe the juice balls were back in that one. I saw some people talking about it just because it was just such a drastic difference. Then they come back out and they're like, all right, you know what? We're doing it. We're gonna rock the City Connects 2 days in a row. And then the offense comes out really flat. Now I think was it Profar that had a home run in the 9th inning in that one. And they end up scoring, but they basically had almost no offense that next game. Musgrove actually looked pretty solid. And then who in the bullpen struggled? Oh, Morahone struggled in the bullpen. So, and honestly, a little bit of Lamet. So, you don't have a good bullpen game again. Maybe you have a little comeback, because at one point it was 2-1 in that game. And they were just down by like 1 run the whole game, but there was no offense. I did have a little bit of late offense, but a pretty tough loss on Saturday, I would say. And then Sunday, they come back, they take the lead late in the game, and it's a big win. I mean, the Twins are a good team. The Twins are in first place for a reason. So to take 2 out of 3, in my opinion, was really solid. Manaea absolutely dealed, in my opinion. I know he allowed a home run. I know he wasn't perfect, but I thought he did really well. I mean, he allowed 2 runs in 6 innings, so he has a quality start. But he got out of that jam in the 5th where I do not know how that ball was overturned. Like, to me, it looked like Hosmer clearly caught it. And then he has 2 guys on. Buxton's at the plate. Correa's on deck. Gets them both out and gets them out of the jam. So honestly, that inning alone of where there's 2 guys on with 1 out, Sean Manaea saved the game right there. So I thought that was a fantastic outing from him, because he's struggled a lot. But once again, I mean, this series, you had 3 really good starts from 3 of your top pitchers. So it's going to keep coming back to the starting pitching has to carry this team, and that's what they're doing right now. So overall, big series dub, because the Twins are a really good team.
Yeah, and we kind of saw their power come back. I know normally it's been very kind of small ball, but we saw a lot of home runs. I still don't know how they overturned that Hosmer call. They had to have had a different angle in New York that they weren't showing on TV, because there's no way that ball hit the net from the angle that we were all watching. I know there was a couple like instances of where I unfortunately didn't get to watch the game that we lost, but I was reading one of the articles and it was like baseball's a game of inches. It was like Profar hit a line drive that would have scored the tying run, or if not won the game, but it hit the umpire right behind second base, and therefore everybody only got to move 1 back instead of Abrams scoring and the guy on third scoring, which, it's unfortunate. It does happen. It's a little unlucky, but such is baseball. Other than that, yeah, we had a really good game. That Manaea outing when he struck out Buxton and then they intentionally walked Curry and got the next guy out, that was incredibly clutch. I thought that was going to go downhill really quickly, just because, Byron Buxton has been unbelievably insane when he's healthy. That's the only problem, is he tends to get injured, but he's been one of the best baseball players when he's healthy. Just to get those 2 guys out, phenomenal job. Now today we are starting the Rockies series, and how do you think this is going to go, Matt? We got 5 games against the Rockies with 1 doubleheader.
No, but remember, see, if it was in Coors, I'm going, all right, we're dropping all 5 of them. But when the Padres play the Rockies at home, it hasn't. It's been pretty solid. I think that you have to capitalize. I think you need to win games. They should win tonight. Who's on the mound for the Padres? It's Clev, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Clev against
Cloud and
Senzatella.
Senzatella.
Senzatella's not good. You should win tonight. You should definitely win tonight. I don't know who's pitching the next couple of days. I know one of them is going to be Darvish in the doubleheader. But yeah, it's not in Colorado. That's the big difference for me. Dude, if this was in Colorado and you're like, oh, the Padres lead on the wild card has been diminishing, oh, I would be so concerned because I would be like, oh no, this is gonna be rough. Anytime you go in Colorado for a while, but the 5-game series against the Rockies, it's very fortunate that it's at home because to me that's like night and day for this team. And honestly, if you see the Rockies, like the Rockies, like they're the same way. They play way better at home and they suck on the road. So like that, I mean, at least in past seasons, I'm assuming it's been this. I felt like it's been this way that this year. But yeah, I'm not that concerned. But you got to keep winning because the Phillies and the Cardinals have been playing really well lately. The Brewers have been playing a little bit better recently, but over like the past like month or two, they've been struggling a little bit. And low-key, the Brewers look like they're kind of selling, which is actually huge for the Padres because if the Cardinals jump the Brewers, that's who they're competing with for the wild card spot. And they're trying to trade, I think, Colton Wong. They're trying to trade their catcher. They're trying to trade a bunch of guys, and they just moved Hader. So they look like they're selling, which is kind of weird because they're currently leading the division. But I don't know. I think for that Twin series, I think it's a big win. I think this Rocky series, you gotta take care of business. You at least got to take 3 out of 5. I think that the goal should be taken 4 out of 5. Now, you sweep a team in a 5-game series, that would be amazing. But I'm not expecting that to be the case. But definitely got to take care of business in this one. So, I guess every Padres starter is going to be pitching in this series because it's 5-game series. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. For the Twins, going back that a little bit, Devin says we got a sort of like revenge on Emilio Pagan. Did he get the loss technically? No, he didn't. But he was the guy who allowed the 2 runs. He allowed the 2 hits to bring him in. He didn't technically allow any runs though. Yeah, he blew the save. So there you go. We've experienced a little bit of that with Emilio Pagan. So I was happy to see that. Overall, big series win. Anything you want to add on that series or the Rockies before we talk about Joe Musgrove for a little bit?
I really hope it's not your classic Padres Rockies series where the Padres start off hot and then, the pitcher that has like a 7 ERA goes, yeah, you know what? I'm the next Nolan Ryan for this game and, strike out 12, go 7 hitless. It's just, for some reason, the games that we should absolutely obliterate the Rockies, the pitcher that's struggling the most, like you say, oh, we should absolutely win against Senzatella. That means we're absolutely going to get shut down by Senzatella tonight. I mean, that's just how it is. Every time we are like, oh, you know what? Oh, we have the Rockies' worst pitchers. Oh, German Marquez has a 6 ERA. He's been struggling this entire season. Nah. German Marquez is about to be the best pitcher in the MLB for this next game. It does look like the Rockies are selling, though. I'm going to say that just because it doesn't look like they have their guys lined up for the next 4 days. I know the same way for the Padres, but it's going to be a very interesting day and a half coming in. Ohtani staying put, but the Giants are going to now sell Carlos Rodon. Frankie Montas is going to be traded. Trevor Malley. There's going to be a heavy pitching market. The only guy that I can see like getting traded on the Rockies right now would probably be Daniel Bard. It'll be weird to see if one of the Rockies trade one of their star prospects away or anyone or one of their younger guys away just to be an available bat. But hey, if they trade CJ Cron away, I'm all for it. He destroys us. A team needs a GH. Please take him. Like that helps us even more. Go ahead. Outside of that, I think we should win at least 3. I'm hoping, to go 4-1, take both doubleheaders, maybe lose tonight. You just take 4 or at least 3 from the Rockies. You can't afford to go 2-3.
Yeah, especially because over the weekend, Padres are going to be playing the Dodgers, and then they play, I believe it's Dodgers, Giants. Yeah, Dodgers, Giants, and then the schedule gets a little bit easier after that. You got the Nationals, the Marlins, and then Nationals again. Yeah, and then you play Cleveland for 2 games, and you play the Royals. So it definitely is a lot nicer after the Dodgers and Giants game series. But also now, I feel like I don't know, like the Giants are selling a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell. They're kind of in between. They haven't yet, so we'll see. But I don't know. We'll see how that one goes. But I do think you got to take care of business against the Rockies, similar to how you did against the Twins, even though they didn't take all three. But taking 2 out of 3 was a big dub there, and that's a good team. So can't play down to the Rockies' talent. But yeah, so let's talk about Joe Musgrove a little bit. I mean, I think Joe Musgrove is a very interesting case just because I remember last year, Chase, when we were first starting out, we are talking about Joe Musgrove, and you definitely know pitching the most out of us three. No Isaac today, but including Isaac and I. And we were talking about Joe Musgrove in an episode, and I remember you said something that was a hot take at the time and a take that people did not like, and you got ripped in the comments for it. And you said, I think Joe Musgrove could be the best pitcher in this staff. I think he could be better than Darvish. I think he could at that time, it was better than Snell. Those were the main two guys. And you said, I think he could be the best. And I remember people in the comments were like, yo, what the hell is this guy talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Well, then the next day, Joe Musgrove comes out, throws a no-hitter, and then kind of becomes, the San Diego kid. And then we've looked at what he's done since then. And Joe Musgrove has been absolutely outstanding. We're looking at this contract. Anytime you make $100 million, you're breaking the bank, right? Well, Joe Musgrove did take a hometown discount, and I think we do need to take notice of that. Joe Musgrove potentially could have got $30 million a year. Maybe not over 5 years, but for a 4-year deal, we could have seen him get that on the open market. I talked to some of my friends that are fans of different MLB teams, and they were like, hey, I hope that you let Joe Musgrove walk because I'd be cool if my team gave him a $30 million a year for 4 years, like 4 for 120. Joe Musgrove opts to take a little bit of a hometown discount. Now, he's still going to be extremely loaded. He's still going to get paid, right? And I love to see that. But this is a big deal for the Padres, and they have their ace of the future. They're bringing the dude that grew up a Padres season ticket holder. So I am so happy that Joe Musgrove has got officially extended as of earlier today. I know that the news came out over the weekend. We wanted to wait until everything was final until we were going to talk about it. But Chase, I know you've been talking about copping a New Jersey. I know that Joe Musgrove was one of the names you were talking about. So, one, how do you feel about the extension? And two, are you going to cop that jersey?
I'm definitely going to cop that jersey with my next paycheck. And dude, it's so great to see Musgrove sign an extension. It was one of those things where, like, yeah, it sounds like either Musgrove or we're going to keep like Clev and Mania or another guy. But now Musgrove took a hometown discount. You can sign Clev to an extension too. Your pitching staff is solid for the next few years. You still have Snell and Darvish. You have Gore. It's just one of those things. It's nice to have the hometown kid back. He's no Joe. He has the first no-hitter in Padres history. He's the hometown kid. He's back in San Diego, back where he belongs. Everybody loves him. He signed a really team-friendly deal. It's great. We all thought he was going to make more than $100 million. I think we had him making $120 million through 5 to 6 years, which is right around on track. But I definitely saw him taking more than $1 million a year, especially considering how he was pitching this year. He's been insane. I know he's had a little bit of a rough patch recently, but it's really good to see him go from, okay, he might be another pitching bust on the Pirates to coming to his hometown and being the ace of the team. It's a storybook story. I mean, like, it's everything you could have wanted and more. Yeah, I'm just happy, man. I'm gonna go get a jersey. Which jersey I'm gonna go get, if I'm gonna do the City Connect or I'm gonna go the pinstripes, but I'm definitely getting a jersey.
Which one would you do if you did pinstripes? Would you do the white one or the brown one, like home or away?
Probably the home.
Yeah, I have a home Tatis and I have an away Cronenworth. That's all I got right now, but it is it'll be sweet, man, because I'm pumped. I mean, he was definitely one of the guys where it felt like if you let Musgrove walk, that's just gonna feel like such a huge blow in the offseason. No matter what happens, like that one's gonna hurt. We've also talked about the future of this rotation, how there's a lot of question marks there. Well, looking at it right now, and okay, let's assume Gore is healthy. I know that's not entirely accurate because we don't really know, but let's say Gore is healthy to start next year. You have 4 guys under contract for sure, and potentially Nick Martinez if he does opt into his deal. And then that's also counting. You have Mania, and Clev as free agents as well. So say that Nick Martinez is opt out, you could go and re-sign one of those guys as well. But all of a sudden, the pitching staff for next year, maybe not moving forward after next year, but for next year, it's looking a lot better because right now you got Musgrove, Darvish, Snell, and Gore under contract for that year. So I'm really happy about it. I think this was one of the things where I was looking at where the Padres were going to be at, and if they let Musgrove walk, it gets a little scary. Now, he is still going to make a good amount of money. I know there's people that are concerned about what he's going to look like when he's older just because he throws so many sliders and stuff. But to me, like, sometimes you just got to go and you got to keep your guy because he's like, and we're talking about another guy too that, like, Padre fans love Joe Musgrove. Like, that's the other thing is that anytime Joe Musgrove's pitching, it feels like it's a sellout crowd. It feels like everyone's pumped to have him. It feels like he is the guy that you want to extend. If you're going to extend anyone, you extend Java Joe. You know, so I'm really happy that that's going to be the case for this team. I love that they brought him back. 5 years, $100 million. Yes, that's a massive payday, but it wasn't like it was only a couple months ago when there was a rumor that the Padres offered Joe Musgrove $17 million, and everyone was like, "Wow, this is such a disrespectful offer." He barely ends up taking more than that, so he definitely took a big time hometown discount. But I'm super stoked that he's going to be back, and I think it was a great move. I think it was the right move. I think walking him or letting him walk would have been stupid. So yeah, I'm all for it. But anything that you want to add on No Joe?
I mean, he's the hometown hero. He deserves his paycheck no matter which way you put it. He has the first no-hitter, like I said earlier. All the fans love him. When you go to a Padres game and you see No Joe, the whole crowd's into it. They love him. They're always cheering him on and off the field. He's the hometown kid. And, it would have been really sad to see him walk because, the Padres kind of have a history of letting guys walk, and seeing them finally be like, no, this is our guy. We're going to pay him. It's really good to see. I know we did that with Tatis and we did that with Machado, but it's a little bit different when he grew up, in El Cajon, going to Padres games. He's 44 for Jake Peavy. I mean, come on. What is there not to love about the guy? And it would have just sucked to see him go because I know we mentioned it in like a live stream. I don't think we made a video about it, but Adrian Gonzalez had wanted to come back to the Padres, and he would have taken the veteran minimum deal because we already had Hosmer, and he's been an off the bench kind of bat, maybe a spot start here or there. But he wanted to come and retire with the Padres, and the Padres denied him that. And if they had done that with No Joe, it would have just been heartbreaking. And so I'm really glad they did this. So hopefully, he lives, or he doesn't live. He lives to complete his years with the Padres, like his entire MLB career. I want him to retire a Padre. I don't want to see him go on a 1-year deal like when he's 37. Just keep him until he retires.
Yeah, and definitely seems like they're in a good spot to be able to do that. So I'm pumped about it. And congrats to Joe Musgrove for getting paid. But with that said, I think it's time to kind of turn it over to all the questions that you guys have. Probably going to talk almost exclusively about the trade deadline. Already did one live stream today. Maybe we'll do another. So I'm going to pull up this comment right here and start sending in any questions that you guys have, and we'll start busting through them. But Chase, here's one. All caps. So Alex is pumped, I could tell. Imagine Soto, Ian Happ, and Contreras, and we give up Nola and Grisham and prospects and maybe a couple more. But imagine those three guys to the Padres. So I'm going to say first, I think that the way that I'm thinking it's going to work out is I think if they get Soto, the Happ and Contreras deal is not going to happen. I think if they don't get Soto, then the Happ and Contreras deal is the one that will happen. I would rather get Soto. I also recognize, and I know that I don't know exactly where you're at with this, but I also recognize that the Happ and Contreras deal is going to be significantly less prospect capital. It's going to be so much less. But I think that either way, you still could see, if you go and get Soto, you still could see a different trade. You still could see the Padres move Grisham and try to upgrade center field as well. You could still see them try to dump Meyer's contract. I don't think Hosmer's going to get traded. I think that's so unlikely. But I think that it's kind of one or the other for these two deals. Do you think that's the case too, or no?
I definitely say that is. I much rather see, we get Ian Happ and then we trade for David Robertson and then maybe I think that's the best thing you shouldn't do. I don't think we need Wilson Contreras. I've said that basically over and over again. He's very similar to Alfaro. Alfaro's faster. Contreras is a little bit better of a hitter, but his home away splits are a little scary. He has like 100 points off his OPS when I'm playing away. He doesn't have any experience with any of the pitching staff outside of Darvish, but even then, Caratini was Darvish's catcher. So how many times did Wilson Contreras really catch Darvish? You would be restarting the whole chemistry thing. It just doesn't make sense. And you need an outfield. Realistically, your biggest need is center fielder. You cannot have Grisham in the starting for you in the postseason. It's just no. You can't have a guy hitting under 200 under a 6. Is he over a 650 OPS? He might be. I don't think so. Though. I think
he's like 620.
Under 650 OPS with sometimes sketchy defense. You can't have that as your starting center fielder and a playoff team. Yes, right field is a problem too, but Ian Happ can play center and he can play all three outfield spots, and then you can have Myers and Mazzara platoon right field, which isn't much better because Mazzara has been really slumping, but realistically, that's their best option right now. Trading for Contreras does nothing. You probably should trade for 2 outfielders and 1 righty reliever and call it a day. Hopefully, you don't go for Soto. That way you can get another solid bat, because realistically, getting Soto means you're going to have to start Grisham every day in center field, and there's still going to be a hole in your lineup no matter what. And then where's Myers going to go? Because you don't want to put Myers in center because he's always going to get hurt because of his knee inflammation. And he's been playing first base, so that means where does Hosmer play? And then you're just paying Eric Hosmer $13 million to sit on the bench. So realistically, trading for all those guys, it doesn't make sense.
So I got to counter you because you bring up Soto and you think that we couldn't add another bat. I would not be surprised if the Padres would do some sort of swap to get Ramon Laureano to go play center and like replace Grisham, because you could swap Grisham and him. Grisham is a cheaper player. You would have to add to that deal, of course, but like I still think that you can add Soto and you can still make corresponding moves. However, I think if you do that, since that you're already giving up so much for Soto, I think all of the moves that we would see, it would be guys with a lot of control, like a Laureano, who Laureano's like 28, but he has like 3 more years of control or something like that. Maybe even more. He has a lot of control left. So like, I think that would be something that we could see where it's like, yeah, they're giving up a lot of their farms, but this guy's literally, what was that?
Have you seen Laureano's stats recently?
They're not great, but he was heating up a little bit after he came back from suspension, right? Are they bad too? Is this just Grisham 2.0?
They're pretty bad. 226, 718 OPS. And it's past.
Hey, slight upgrade, right?
Slight upgrade, baby. In his last 30, 211 average, 286 on base, and a 482 slugging. So he's been hitting the ball, but he barely gets on base. So basically, you're trading for Joey Gallo, the Walmart. Actually, I can't even say Walmart version of Joey Gallo, because Joey Gallo has been absolutely horrendous too.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so I see people talking about Gallo too. Where was it? Someone said basically like, I think the Padres are going to get Gallo. Let me find. I got to find this comment. Okay. I also see this. Bobby Joe says Contreras is a rich man's Alfaro. His numbers are only a little bit better. Agree. Also like the profile pick. All right, what do we got? Where was this stuff about? Oh, here it is. Devin. Joey Gallo is bound to be a Padre no matter what, and I don't like that. Do you think this is true? I still think it's true. And I don't think that this is one where it's like, I think the Yankees will pay for all of his contract, dude. I swear to you. I will be shocked if Joey Gallo is not a Padre by the end of the deadline. I am serious. And if he's not, I'll double down and say I will be even more shocked if he's not a Padre next offseason. And I am totally with you, Devin. I do not want it to happen, but I am fully expecting it. I've prepared myself.
Oh, no. Okay, see, here it is. Here's the stat that I wanted to bring up before, I said anything. Aaron Judge has more home runs than Joey Gallo has hits.
Than hits?
10 hits. So
my
before you
goodness.
guys continue to say
Terrible.
Joey Gallo will be a Padre, I don't think AJ Preller can make this move right now and not be fired.
Okay, wait. I want to see something. Okay, I'm gonna look this up. I want to see, like, I'm looking up his numbers. I'm gonna look up his baseball savant. So he has
Okay.
he has almost the same OPS plus as Grisham. I don't know if you knew that. Like almost the exact
Yeah,
same. I think they're 2
he's
points
hitting.
off.
He has a 621 OPS right now.
Okay, let me pop this up. I don't want him either. I really don't want him. I just think it's gonna happen, dude. I've been preparing for it. The problem,
I
okay,
would give
like, look, this is
you.
awful, man. This is terrible. 1% in K and whiff. I want to see. Okay, when was last time he was on the Rangers and go with 2019, right? No,
No, 20.
2018.
Go 20.
Dude, this is way. I mean, whiff rate's still up there, but like, okay, I guess K and whiff is always going to be there. But he's literally. I mean,
No.
yeah. Look at the exit velocity so far down. It's just. Oh. His chase
Go
rate
to
isn't
2020. I
horrible.
think that might have been his last good season.
2020. Yeah, he was good in 2020. He had great look. He had great numbers there. Watch.
Oh,
2020.
you say great.
Okay, not 20. 2021 in Texas was when he had the great numbers. Because
Yeah.
remember, this was when the Padres were the most linked to him. And then the Yankees end up upping their offer, and I'm very happy that they did that. This was the year when he was the best, was 2019.
2019.
I mean, those are great numbers. Those are actually fantastic numbers. But for how like broken he is right now, can we be confident that he's going to get back there? I don't think we can. I definitely don't think we can.
Nope.
Oh man, that would be tough. Maybe this is part of it. Gallo just isn't built for the New York pressure. I mean, he's also been playing out of
I know.
position and stuff, but I don't think it's worth the risk. Like, I'm with you, dude. I would rather see. Okay, I've been thinking about this. If you move Myers, because this is the one I've talked about a lot that I think makes a little bit of sense for both teams, but say that you lose some salary to go to go add some guys. Maybe you add Soto and you trade some other guys, and then you're able to get Soto and stay under the luxury tax if that's your goal, and you move Myers for Gallo. I'm going to be confident that Myers is going to put up significantly better numbers than Gallo. So is it worth it to trade for a guy that's a big time wild card and can hurt your playoff chances? Like, I get that you want to buy low, but like, I don't think the Padres are in a spot to buy low on a guy who looks broken right now. As an offseason
I'll
like
take Gallo
reclamation.
if
Yeah.
I'll take Gallo if the Yankees eat the entirety of Eric Hosmer's contract and take Eric Hosmer and throw him on the moon. That's the only way I will accept Gallo on the Padres, because then Myers can go to first base and you can platoon Gallo and he doesn't ever have to see the field that often.
You could. That would make sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This Yankee fan here, please take Gallo. Yeah. No, don't worry. I
We
know
don't
you
want
guys
him
do
either,
not want
buddy.
Gallo. We don't want
We
him. We
don't
do
want
not
him.
want Gallo, man. But yeah. Okay. I had to bring up Gallo. Let's not do this anymore. We're hurting everyone's souls talking about Joey Gallo being a Padre. He definitely needs a change of scenery, but I just don't think it's worth it. I really don't. That's my problem. So let's remove Soto from the conversation, right? Let's say the Nationals hold Soto, because I've been seeing a lot of people saying like it's Soto or bust for the Padres. There's always like the chance that the Nationals go, we're not going to trade him. We're going to wait. We don't think the offers are good enough. We'll wait to the offseason. We have some leverage on holding him. We have him for a couple more years. Let's say that happens. So let's not say that the Cardinals or the Dodgers trade for him, but no one gets him, right? What would your like favorite outfield options be? Is Happ the first guy? Because I know a lot of people apparently do not like Happ, which was surprising to me. But I'm a fan of Happ. I think he'd be a good ad. I think Laureano's all right. Maybe a non-outfield option would be Josh Bell. As if you move him to first, the problem is you don't really have a spot for Hosmer then, so you'd have to kind of expect that you trade Hosmer. Not that that's a problem, but it seems like they're going to keep Hosmer. So then you just have a bunch of first base DH types, which is not a way to be successful if you have three of those guys on your team. But I don't know. What would be like your
right field?
What was that?
So what do you mean Luke Voigt can play right field? We can just throw a guy out there and hope that he swims and not sinks.
What about Hosmer out there? I remember one time we were doing this. One time we were on a live, someone said, "Why don't we move Hosmer to right?" And I was like, "Dude, no way, we cannot move Hosmer to right. That'd be a disaster."
Hosmer does. I'll give Hosmer. Hosmer has an arm for a first baseman, but my God, is he unbelievably slow for someone of
Oh
his
yeah,
size?
you couldn't put him in the outfield. It would be terrible.
I
The
think
only guy. Okay,
Franmil was a better right fielder than Eric Hosmer would be, and Franmil was way bigger than him.
yeah, I mean, but the thing about Franmil is like I don't know. I have more faith in Franmil. Let's see. I see people saying I think okay. There's a few here. JD Martinez, Kim, Verdugo. Okay, JD Martinez is hurt right now. Correct? I know like the whole Red Sox team is hurt right now. I don't think that
I
they're going to be
think
trading everyone. I'm not expecting that. Verdugo's been horrible. Verdugo has sucked. I don't want Verdugo right now. Let's look at his numbers real quick. But last time I saw, he was been like an awful player. So unless he's got
I'm
really
looking
hot
up
over
his
the last
baseball savant right now. So I remember
Verdugo,
one time we were looking at his numbers, but his baseball savant page was really good. But I think it's now gone back to normal.
he
Let's
has a
see.
308 on base percentage, a 684
He's-
OPS, and an 88 OPS plus. He has 6 home runs. Like he just know what the Padres need. Like the Padres need some pop. Like he's the opposite of that. He's like a contact hitter that's not that crazy. That I don't really want Verdugo. I did want him earlier in the year. I thought it'd be a good
His
idea.
baseball page isn't that bad.
No, it's not that bad. He just doesn't hit
Doesn't
home runs.
walk a lot.
I mean, I
He just
guess
doesn't.
also he's a lefty too in Fenway. That's not the best spot to be a lefty. It'd be a lot more favorable in Petco, right?
I would say so because a lot of his singles right here probably could turn into doubles depending on if they shifted him because he hits the ball quite a bit to the left side too. So if they had a slight shift to him, those singles might turn into doubles.
Like in center, like that kind of area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean his
And
spray
plus-
chart's pretty. He's
And
not the
plus,
worst.
it's
like,
not 380 to right field at Petco. It's
like
what is it,
360? It's not that far, yeah.
No, the right field wall is not that far.
Oh
He's like
wait, this is
330.
it. Real quick to sub this in while we look at that. Who's faster, Voit or Hosmer? I'm gonna go Voit by a hair.
So
I don't think you're
right
getting much speed
field-
out of either.
So right field is 322.
Okay, so that's all. So he actually might carry the ball a lot better in Petco. Okay, I could maybe get on board
Some
with
of
him a little
those
bit.
singles probably turn into home runs there. If not, some of those singles are off the wall and doubles.
Yeah.
That helps
Yeah.
his OPS out. His
Yeah,
hard hit
so-
rate's a little concerning.
Yeah,
Let's look this up while I
Reynolds.
have baseball savant up here. Let's see Luke Voigt's sprint speed.
All right, so we're gonna check Luke Voit in.
I spelled
Yeah,
that
let's see.
wrong. Ignore that. Oh God, I like sharing my screen. Always make mistakes spelling.
Okay, what's his sprint speed? All right, guys, we're
7.
gonna cover. All right,
All right. Over or under 7 in the comments. Let's go.
for Haas,
For Haas. Over or under 7.
I'm gonna say over. Here's why: Hosmer hits the ball in the infield so much, and he's always
right.
trying to beat out ground balls, and that's how they track sprint speed. I'm going over. I'm taking Haas.
All right.
Oh, everyone's going over.
For the grand reveal. 19. It is.
Oh my God, Haas is flying, dude. Haas is flying. Look at that. Yeah, there we go. Covering the things that matter most in Padres baseball on Friar Talk today. We got a bunch of deadline stuff, but no, let's talk about Voit and Hosmer's speed.
Because I said, just because I mentioned him earlier, I want to see his sprint speed. I guarantee.
Franmil?
Yeah.
Yeah, Franmil is not. There's
If a guy that's it's just slightly worse.
Dude, okay, but how much does Franmil weigh? Almost 270?
265.
Okay, yeah. That's a big difference.
That's
What does
bad.
Haas weigh, like 230?
Like,
It can't be
like
that much.
220, dude. I think it's like 220.
Okay.
I'll pull it up right now.
So then let's go back to the deadline a little bit because people are talking a lot about Hap. Is Hap your number one guy outside of landing a a Juan Soto and like a single guy you could get, not like a specific package. But is he number one? Because the only other guys I'm
Yeah,
thinking are
because
like.
Benintendi's gone. Hap.
I also was looking up Whit Merrifield today because I brought him up as a guy. Dude, Whit Merrifield's been ass. He's been terrible.
Maybe.
You don't want him.
See, I
Tommy
would have
Pham?
wanted to
Oh
trade for
God,
Cattell, but Cattell
Cattell's
signed
he got
an
extended.
extension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Tommy Pham?
We would lose monetization if I said things I say about him on here.
Okay, someone said Santander. You like Santander, don't you? Or you have?
I like Santander, much rather go with oh my god, I'm forgetting his name right now. Austin Hayes. Let's actually look up the difference. I'm pretty sure they're very similar players, but
Chase,
I remember what was it?
take a look.
I'm not even gonna acknowledge.
Okay.
Oh,
Santander? He almost has an
Santander's
800
having a pretty
OPS.
good year. He's a
Does
crap
he have
fielder.
control?
That I don't know. He has nearly an 800 OPS, so he's having a career year. It would be one of those things where he definitely plays in a similar park in right field. Some of his hits to left field will turn into doubles just because of how the Orioles screwed over their right-handed hitters. But and moves that don't make sense. Let's extend
Note on Santander.
field wall by like 50 feet.
Santander has 2 more years of control after this year, and he's only making $3 million. So that could be a really solid.
So I would definitely go Santander over Hayes, but before it was Hayes over Santander, but Santander over Hayes right now.
What is Hayes?
What's Hayes? What are his numbers? That.
Can you go down a little bit on Hayes?
Santander had nearly an 800 OPS.
And Hayes really has solid. What?
A 753, 433 slugging. Who gets on base more right now?
Hayes is cheaper and has an extra year of control.
Santander's hitting better and gets on base slightly more and has a slightly better slugging.
So where the Padres are at, I'd probably go Santander. I'd rather have him. I also think for the Orioles, maybe it makes a little bit more sense to trade Santander instead of Hayes. You don't really want Santander playing center though, right? Like,
no, you want him right left.
And Mancini can play corner outfield too, can he?
He's mainly been first in DH, but he does have experience in the outfield.
He hasn't played in a while though, huh?
No, I don't think he's played outfield in a while. But
yeah, so that would be a little.
God, that's a pretty baseball savant page. Outside of sprint speed.
And remember, they totally screwed up their outfield wall. Where they're like, oh, you know what we're gonna do?
That is legit their left field wall now. Their left field wall is 384 at the corner. So one of the trades that I wanted to do was you either trade for you probably trade for Santander now, but you trade for Santander and Mancini and you get rid of Grish. Oh, you can't get rid of Grish because you need a center fielder. Cedric Mullins hasn't been that great.
Jock Peterson.
I wanted Hosmer and probably Grisham, and then you trade for those two. You get your right fielder. You get a good first baseman, and then you might trade for Happ and Robertson. That's probably what I would do if you do want to do 2 packages. You get 2 bats. You get a really good bat and a really good center fielder in Happ, and then you upgrade the bullpen with Robertson. You possibly have Johnson coming back. You keep your catchers the same. You upgrade at first. You upgrade at right. You upgrade at center. And you upgrade the bullpen along with Hader. I think that's the perfect move, but I don't really know how realistic that is.
So you think there's a good chance that the Padres make a trade, though? It feels like it feels like they're going to trade maybe with like 3 teams. One of 3 teams. or maybe two of them.
Also,
But I think you could see Soto. You could see the Nationals, the Orioles, or the Cubs. I also think the Cubs are actually the most likely team to take on contracts. I said that earlier in the live stream I did by myself earlier. But they're like I don't think the Orioles would take on salary. I don't think the Nationals are taking on any salary. But the Cubs will take on salary to add in prospects. So if the Padres are trying to like add guys but still staying at the luxury tax, Cubs are a team that you're gonna probably see them do a deal with. Even, and I know that we brought up the Hap Contreras deal and said it's probably not likely to happen. But if they trade for Soto and they're trying to get under the salary and they're like adding Hap or whatever, they could move. They could make a move with the Cubs to like get rid of Haas or Myers and package Campy and Grisham, or, something like that. But I still don't think that you'd see both, like all three of those guys added in those two deals.
Give me one second. I know everybody was asking. A few people are asking about Adolis Garcia.
Oh yeah, check him out.
He's having a pretty good year. He's worth 3 WAR. He's hitting 247, has a 295 on base and a 460 slugging for a 755 OPS and a 112 OPS plus, which means I'm assuming he makes most of his contributions in defense. Let me see real quick. But he's not a bad option. Actually, is it just because he plays at the Ranger Stadium? It may be just because he plays at Ranger Stadium. Oh, no, he whiffs a lot. I'll put it on screen right now and show you. It's interesting.
The Yankees just traded for Ricky Montas.
Ricky Montas?
Yeah, and Trevino, their closer.
Oh, damn.
This is according to Bob Nightingale, though, so it could be. We never know for sure. This is Garcia?
Yeah, this is Adolis. He hits the ball hard.
So this is like what Preller wants Gallo to be right here, huh?
And he's a Ranger. He is a Ranger.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even think about that. That changes everything. Put Garcia top of the list for most likely to get added. Hey, the Rangers have been pretty good for the Padres so far. I know Mazar's fallen off a little bit.
It's not bad.
He looks pretty solid. And he could play center. That's an interesting. Okay. Let me see his.
He's
control.
fast.
Okay.
He's pretty cheap too, because he just made it in the league a couple of years ago. And he hasn't been overly great.
Yeah, he's been in the league he was a Cardinal before. I didn't even know that. And he didn't play in 2019. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely his best year. He's not like crazy or anything, but
I think he's making $714,000. Adolis Garcia,
yep.
714,000. Yep. Pretty cheap.
And he has 4 more years of control. That would be an intriguing option.
That might make him a little expensive.
No, it might. It definitely might. But we could see. Oh, apparently Mancini to Houston. I didn't see that one yet, but there we go, Mancini.
And Rosenthal. I haven't seen anything.
Let me check.
Naked HD. This is not the time we are looking at trades.
Yeah, that guy was gone for a while. I don't know what happened. All right, I don't follow Kim. Let's see. Orioles will get multiple players. So basically, he retweeted a tweet like approving it, basically, saying that the Orioles are going to get multiple players for Trey Mancini, and he doesn't know who's getting traded on the end of the Astros. Yeah, good catch. Good catch right here. And then Passan just confirmed. There we go. So the couple of deals going down. Maybe one on the horizon. Even though these deals aren't really like related to Soto in any way. I don't want Adolis Garcia. CV, why do you not want Adolis Garcia? I think that he was better than Grisham. I think he's significantly better than Grisham. I could see them making that move as like, okay, we're gonna get this guy. Yeah, we're gonna trade a lot of the farm, but he's gonna be our center fielder. I think that can be one that is like paired with the Soto deal. Like I was talking, like if you go after, there's a couple different guys. Bobby Joe said, "What about Hunter Renfroe?" Dude, we like bringing in Hunter Renfroe this offseason, actually. We thought it'd be a good guy to put in right or left, or like to put him in right and move Myers to left potentially. Maybe. I mean, I think he's on a 1-year deal. Last time I checked, I believe that's the case.
He's having a pretty good year. Or he doesn't get on base a lot, but he's having a pretty good year. He has an 828 OPS. He has 19 home runs. He'd be used to the outfield already.
All right, I got an interesting question for you, Chase, because I've been thinking about this one a lot. Say you can get Soto. I don't know. It's hard because I know that like we want to add someone now, so it's hard to be like, oh, if we can't get Soto, like let's. Okay, Soto or Ohtani for a similar package. Who would you rather have?
Ohtani.
I know Ohtani's not getting traded. I know he's not getting traded.
I know, which sucks. But considering that their trade packages are similar, you'd get more production from Ohtani pitching and hitting. Because realistically, you want Ohtani duration. And realistically, you could have Gore chill in the bullpen, work on his mechanics, get his velocity back up, work on his off speeds, all in the bullpen at the major league level, and not have to worry that he's going to get blown up for a game and you automatically lose that. You have Ohtani, Darvish, Musgrove, Clevenger, Manaea, and Snell. That's a 6-man rotation that no one wants to face. And then during the playoffs, who do you pick? Ohtani, Musgrove, Snell, Clevenger, Darvish. You could go any which direction you want, and that is a terrifying rotation. Ohtani 100%.
Okay, because I do still think there's a chance that Soto just doesn't get moved. Like everyone's like, oh, he's gonna get moved. He's gonna get moved. Like there's 3 teams in it. Like he hasn't got moved yet. So until he gets like, it's so rare that a guy his caliber at his age gets moved. So I do think there's a chance that he stays in Washington, and potentially both him and Ohtani are available in the offseason. So it would be more like an offseason thing, and that's why it sucks with Ohtani because he's not going to get moved. But I feel like I probably would feel the same way, and I think another reason why I would be a little bit more intrigued to add Ohtani, not that I wouldn't love to have Soto. I would absolutely love to have Soto, and I'm down to trade a lot for him. But I do think that part of me thinks there's a big chance that Soto doesn't re-sign. With Ohtani was heavily linked to the Padres. And I know Soto was too, but it feels more likely that Ohtani would end up staying in San Diego. And I don't know if that's just my opinion or I randomly think that, but I really do feel like that's like a part of the deal too. With when we're looking at these trades is one of the guys going to stay and then one of the guys not going to stay? Because then it's as obvious as it can get. You definitely want the guy that's going to stay.
I think Ohtani will stay.
And Ohtani will make a stupid amount of money wherever he plays, but you're also getting his bat and him pitching. Like, what did he produce? Like a 9 WAR last year? Wasn't it 9 WAR when you combine his pitching? Oh my god, like ridiculous. Also, someone brought up Travis Jankowski, and he just got claimed by the Mariners. Actually,
why are the Mariners stock hoarding outfielders?
I don't know. It's a weird guy to add. He was like exclusively a pinch runner earlier this year. You remember that? I mean, he can fly.
Mateo's a pinch runner, and he has like 30 stolen bases for the Orioles.
But he still plays more than that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude,
Twitter is blowing up.
Soto's in the Nationals lineup today. I don't know if that means too much. Okay. Ohtani's 28. I disagree. Tatis and Soto on the same timeline. Okay. If you're re-signing them both, I'd rather have Soto, but I just think that Ohtani's more likely to re-sign. That's why. So I think that you might get Ohtani for like 6-7 years. You might get Soto for like, the 2+ that you'd get now, and that would be the difference. Rodriguez is injured. Julio Rodriguez. That's why.
Gotcha.
That makes
They
sense.
still had like 4 other outfielders, no? God.
What do you think about this? If Ohtani got Tommy John,
Remember,
does he just convert?
injury years ago, and he still played. He was just hitting. He was the DH.
Oh, that's right. That's such like a nice like oh shoot like our pitcher got Tommy John. Oh no, he's still playing. Don't worry, man. He'll still hit
Bryce
40, 50
Harper was
jabs.
hitting with a torn UCL, and so was Ohtani. Come on, we saw this already.
Ridiculous.
He'll still hit. We're good.
Ohtani's it's just so amazing. Oh man, I really hope that we land one of Ohtani or so. That'd be sick. But yeah,
so here's the thing that's even better. The 6-man rotation just means he gets more rest, and that means an arm injury is less likely to happen.
That's true. That would be accurate. Has he had Tommy John before? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, I don't think so.
You know the real guy that the Padres that we need to talk more about. We never made a video on him. Is that one dude? Is he in the Japanese league or the Korean league? That's ridiculous.
Oh,
he's like
Roki Sasaki?
He's like 18, and he threw like
he's 19,
like 16.
I think.
And he threw like 16
he's either 18 or 19. Nearly threw 2 perfect games in a row. One of his games, 17 strikeouts. The next one I think had 13 or 14 strikeouts. Roki Sasaki. You guys need to look him up if you hadn't heard of him. Ohtani was the phenom, and then as soon as he left, he came out of I wouldn't say he came out of nowhere, but his nickname right now is the monster of the Reiwa era, and he's absolutely insane. I'll pull up his stats right now. So this year, in his last year actually, last year he had a 1.84 ERA in 83 innings pitched, and had 87 strikeouts to 19 walks. This year, he has a 1.48 ERA in 85 innings with 124 strikeouts and 14 walks. He's given up 2 home runs in 85 innings. His whip is .74.
Yeah, just stupid numbers. Hey, what do you think about this? Samuel asks, damn, so the top 2 starting pitcher is on the trade market. Don't go to either the Cards or the Dodgers. Does that mean that their offers get upped? I think it makes them like hone in more on those deals, but I feel like for the most part, like the offers are kind of in and like kind of set at this point. So it's like adding a little bit, but I don't think I guess it depends. I guess it's hard to tell because the Dodgers, Cardinals, and Padres are those 3 teams in on Soto. So maybe a little bit, but I don't think like to a crazy degree. But the Cardinals are kind of in a weird spot because like they're trying to make like significant upgrades by taking their farm and turning it into major league talent to make a playoff push. So maybe a little bit more for the Cards probably, huh?
I think the Cards are going to be the ones that get Soto. They want him so bad. I remember reading seeing something this morning that they were revamping their offers for Soto just because that's how bad they want him. I mean, the Cards are probably in the best position to do it because they have some MLB talent that's ready to move on, and then they also have some high-end talent in their farm. So if one team can do it, it's going to be the Cardinals.
My bad, I was muted. Yeah, I think that they do make a lot of sense. The only thing that I saw, I was reading some stuff that was saying, look, the Cardinals can trade a lot, but one of the kind of concerns for for them actually getting him is that it feels like the Nationals can get more like talent that's a few years away, where they can really like hone in on a full rebuild, like building around guys like Abrams, Hassel, Wood, stuff like that. Whereas like the Cardinals are going to be trading guys that are like ready to pitch or like ready to play soon. And it might make a little bit more sense from like a traditional rebuild to like reset and do everything and then use those guys. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it makes their offers up a little bit, but for the Cardinals, I mean, the Cardinals are going to really try to move someone. Like they have to move. someone. Yeah, they're gonna have to trade one of like a few guys plus prospects for Soto. Yeah, totally. They'll be draining a lot of their depth, but they have a lot of depth in their farm system as well. So it's kind of like they can afford to drain a lot of that depth, I think, based off what Diego was saying in the comments. Put up 6 prospects late tomorrow if the Nats back out last minute. That's what the Nats get. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I think that the Padres kind of have their offer out there of like, look, this is what we're going to give up. If not, we're going to move on to these other deals. I haven't really heard. Have you ever heard of any other teams linked to like Happ and Contreras? I figured that Contreras would have a ton of suitors. Dude, I haven't really heard anyone like, oh, yeah, we need to go get Contreras. Like, very.
It's because he's been slumping like crazy.
Yeah.
He has been slumping like crazy.
Look him up.
And I would assume like most people don't need a center fielder because their center fielder can hit over 200 and have over a 650 OPS because an average hitter in the MLB hits 250 and 750 OPS. That's an everyday player. Grisham just has good defense. That's where we're at.
I want to see Contreras' splits. I gotta find him because I remember I was looking at that. Oh, maybe apparently he was tied to the Astros too. So that makes sense. I hate the Nationals with a passion after last year. Yeah, if that happens again, I think a lot of Padre fans are going to affiliate the Nationals. Oh, last second. Also, if it's the same deal with the Dodgers, do we have to start a conspiracy theory that the Nationals owners are getting a little kick from the Dodgers guys? Back-to-back years of that. We'll just give you Ohtani, Trey Turner, Max Scherzer. You can have them all. Start handing you guys all the good players. That would be kind of crazy, right? It's just the Dodgers farm system.
It'd be like an episode of Impractical Jokers, but it's not funny at this point.
Oh man, that would be bad. Okay, I want to see. I'm trying to find Contreras' splits recently because I do want to see that. Contreras, he went 0-4. Not good. I mean, his average is down to 252.
No, but look up his home away splits. That was the.
So over the last 30 games, Wilson Contreras is hitting 197 with a 308 slugging percentage, and has hit 2 home runs in that span. His 7 and 15 game splits are worse. And let me go to his home away splits. So I'm not showing you guys. I'm just looking on the MLB app on my phone. His home away. So the difference of his I'll do like average on base, all that. Home average 279, away average 219, home on base percentage 386, away 341, slugging 494, 404. So 90-point drop off. His OPS is the difference of 135 points. That's the difference. It's 880 compared to 745. And keep in mind, the Cubs have a very friendly stadium to hit at. The Padres have one of the least friendly stadiums to hit at. So, I mean, we've already seen a lot of these trade deadline additions come over, and then the guys can't hit for power. I think Contreras would be one of those guys. That's why I would rather than make a move for an outfielder than like catcher. Because like, what if? Okay, this is the problem. So you trade Alfaro in a deal, you go and you get him. There's a decent chance that Alfaro has a better second half. There's a very decent chance. So it would just be like, what's the point of the deal? You're adding like $7 million to your payroll. Like, so I don't know. I think that I think a Happ deal makes a lot more sense. I think Laureano. I like the Garcia idea. I think Santander would be sick. Also, the other thing with the Orioles is that you could trade for a couple of right-handed relievers in that deal too. Like Felix Bautista. That's a guy you really like, right?
I love Felix Bautista. Oh, you guys need to look up some highlights of Felix Bautista if you haven't. Guy is absolutely filthy. Like I said, I'd much rather just go Happ and Robertson. I think that's a good trade. Since Santander, you can probably just get away with something pretty cheap with just going for Santander, then trading for Happ and Robertson. Mancini's off the board, unfortunately. The Astros snagged him right from out under us, even though we were never really linked to him. But if you could get... I know the Cubs were willing to eat Eric Hosmer's contract. They're willing to eat $40 million of it
Ugh.
if they got Campusano last year. You can try to go that route. Give them Campy and maybe Hassel. Get them to eat Eric Hosmer's contract, and then give them Grisham, which gives them control. And then you gave up Gasser. You try to keep Woods. You give up Hassel. You give up Ruiz.
You give up so many guys if you trade Soto. Like you've given up because you're gonna give up.
I'm talking about just if you give
just not giving up Soto.
Crawford to the Cubs and you get Happ and Robertson. So you give Eric Hosmer, they eat up that entire contract. They'll get Campy. They'll get Hassel. You can give them.
Real quick, what would you do at first base? Are you trying to add Josh Bell? You kicking
Myers.
Cronenworth there?
I'll put Myers at first.
Myers
right
at
now.
first. Like Myers void at first, then you'll have like some of those guys DH. You'll have Tatis DH a little bit.
And then you trade for Santander. And then you trade for Santander, and he'll be your everyday right fielder.
That's a much better team. That's a
so it would be Profar and left, Happ center, Santander / Myers and right, then Myers / Voit at first and DH. And then you keep Alfaro as the primary catcher. And then you have Nola catch every now and again as either a break or depending on what the pitcher wants. You'll still have Tatis, Machado, and Cronenworth. And then your only problem is that you don't – I guess your depth piece for outfield would be Myers, which –
well, who else would you
have? That's a great depth piece to have.
You'd have Mazzara there too.
You do have Mazzara there, but he'd probably play – he'd probably platoon.
And Tatis.
We're not putting Tatis back in the outfield. That's a horrible idea.
No, people have been thinking that he might just like to not like to just like, all right, bro, go play right a little bit because we don't want you getting your wrist banged up. The problem is I don't know if I feel more comfortable with him playing short or if him being unfamiliar with the walls and like in Petco not being comfortable and then running into the wall with his wrist. I think that might be like a more scary spot if there's like a weird fly ball. But we were actually talking about it. You know, Isaac said he would be cool with it if we added Bogarts, if we added Xander. He said he'd be fine with bringing him either at second or short and having Tatis play outfield for the rest of the season. Just that. I think that's fair. I mean,
we saw Tatis in the outfield, though. It wasn't pretty.
No, it wasn't pretty. It was not.
And yes, Tatis did take live batting practice today. He's taking many steps in the right direction.
He's expected to rehab this weekend, I believe. So potentially have him back in like a week and a half. My guess was the National Series, the first one, not the second, which would be like, I think it's like August 10th or something like that. So that was kind of my idea of when he would be back. I don't think he should, if he's having like live BP today, it's August 1st, Monday. It shouldn't take that. He shouldn't have to have that many rehab starts. Like, you notice how Myers had Myers did like 2-3 weeks of rehab starts. That was weird, right?
I think he also worked. Yeah, I think that was really weird. But since he's also starting to play first again, I don't think it's that weird.
So maybe it's like kind of getting reps
at first after not having any reps at first for a minute. It makes sense. It also could have been one of the things where they were working on something mechanical with his swing. And that along with, hey, get some reps at first base. You might be playing first.
That makes sense. That doesn't make it all. It's a much different situation, but I don't think we should expect the same from Tatis. Even though I know that Tatis hasn't played like all season, but Tatis has been taking ground balls for like 2.5 months. So I don't think it'll take that long to get back to speed at short. In terms of hitting, I mean, he's been hitting for a little while now. Like, I think either way, there's going to be a period where it takes a little bit. So, Pete, who's a Braves fan, asked thoughts on Montez to the Yankees. Chase, what do you think? You think it's a good move for them? I definitely think it is. They have a nasty rotation.
So they've made a few trades. So they got Montas, they traded for Benintendi, and then they traded, I believe, for the Cubs closer, Efros. So they look like they want to make a World Series run. I think it's a good move for them. I don't know if that's going to all pay off in come September, October. I mean, you see a lot of teams make moves like this and they usually don't end up winning the World Series. I mean, if they get hot at the right time, yeah, that could really work out for them. If Montas comes out and is absolutely nastiest pitcher alive, then yeah, it could work for him.
Okay, I got
It
to tell
really
you this.
depends. It's who gets hot at the right time. It's not who has the best
Oh
team.
yeah.
It's who gets hot at the right time. I mean, look
I
at
mean,
the 2010s Giants. They
I
never
was
won
gonna
the
say
division. They were always wild card teams. The Braves, they didn't have the best pitching in the world. They picked up Jock Peterson and Jorge Soler and said, "Guess what, guys? We're just going to hit home runs the entire World Series and win it."
the Royals.
The
Royals with the
Royals,
back-to-back World Series, not the best. Okay, I got to tell you this. So John Heyman just had a tweet. This is for all the Padre
being
fans
messed up again.
specifically. Yankees have done what they wanted by acquiring Montez Benintendi and Efros. Made order of business left appears to be dealing Joey Gallo. Brewers, Padres, Rangers could be fits. Ugh.
Why would the Rangers want Gallo back?
Did they get it? Dude, if the Rangers, okay, think about it though. If the Rangers swapped Gallo one deadline and then got him back the next deadline and he was the same dude, that would be absolutely hilarious because they got a decent capital back from the Yankees when they moved him because he was thought of as a good piece. They get him for nothing and he'd get his contract paid for. I think that'd just be funny if anything. I mean, I don't think that the Rangers aren't close to a spot, right? I know they're ahead of the Angels, but that's not really saying much. Let's see.
For a team that spent all picks on pitchers last year, they're still really down a lot of pitchers.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But that was mostly this year too. Like they've been are you talking about the Angels or the Rangers?
The Angels, remember, they spent like 22 draft picks on straight pitchers. They didn't draft anything else other than pitchers last year.
Yeah. Hey, how about this? New scenario for you, Chase, all right? Get ready for this one.
Okay.
So Jesse comments, Grisham and Gallo batting average combined is like 280. Should the Padres just say, oh, fuck it, we're going to get Gallo and Grisham in the lineup? Couple wild cards out there?
I might pull an Oedipus and stab my eyes out with a fork before that happens. Jesus, no, God, no.
That would be the crappiest bottom of the order ever. 8-9, Gallo and Grisham.
Here's the best part. You know if Preller traded for Gallo, he's not hitting in the bottom of the order. You know exactly where he's hitting. He's hitting in that 4 spot. Come on.
Dude, I've talked about this before, but the Yankees, because I go to Yankees games because I'm out here, right? I like going to Yankees games. They're fun. When I will go to Yankees games, every time it pisses me off, dude. I walk up, right? Look at the scoreboard. Oh, look, it's fucking Gallo hitting 5th. Why would Gallo hit 5th? Gallo, he can't hit. Why would you want, you want a Cronenworth or a power bat or a guy that's actually going to bring in runs to hit 5th? If you hit Gallo leadoff, that's fine. Okay. Let me correct myself. That's not fine right now because Gallo's been so terrible. But if it was the Gallo of the past that hits 200, that's all right because he's going to see the most pitches in the league. He's going to strike out a bunch.
Better.
He's going to walk a bunch. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's or 8th or 9th. You can't hit him in the middle of the order. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Same reason Hosmer is in the lineup, brain damage. I don't even get. Oh my God, we should have never signed Eric Hosmer. I will say this till the day I die. I do not understand signing Eric Hosmer to a 7-year deal. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Preller, that would probably be your biggest mistake as your tenure in the Padre is signing Eric Hosmer for 7 years. That or Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham was also really bad, but we also got Jake Cronenworth out of it, so I'm fine with that.
And who did the Padres trade for Tommy Pham? Was it Renfroe? It was
Yeah.
like Renfroe and someone else, I want to say. I forget who though.
Was
I
it
think it was
Xavier
Renfroe.
Edwards?
Maybe. I forget the exact deal. But I know the Padres ultimately won the deal because they got Cronenworth.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we gave up Sam and a slapdick prospect, remember? Or they they gave up slapdick prospect for Renfroe and someone
That's what
else.
Blake Snell said, huh, on the live.
Gave up Sam for Renfroe and a slapdick prospect.
Oh, was it Patino? No, Patino was
No,
Snell.
Patino was the
That was the
Snell
Snell.
trade. Margot,
Margot?
I think, was an earlier trade.
No. I think
Margot was on the Rays before Renfroe.
What
Was it the Pagan? I think Pagan was the Margot trade.
Renfroe Mejia?
No, that's not right either. I think it's Xavier Edwards.
Everyone just throwing out.
Dude, we had
trades
so many
right now.
trades with the Rays.
I'm checking something real quick. Tampa Bay Padres? Yeah, dude, for real.
Basically. Just like the Cleveland Padres, too. God, we should have never got rid of Josh Naylor. I'm going to look up his stats right now. I'm still upset with that. I didn't want to give him up. He would be our first baseman right now.
Oh. Looking something up here.
Yes, Josh Naylor. 282 average, 332 on base, 514 slugging for an 846 OPS and a 139 OPS plus.
All right, guys, you guys aren't gonna like this, but so Mike Rodriguez, who apparently is known to be very correct, is a reporter. He's an insider. He just tweeted out that the Dodgers are close to acquiring Juan Soto as they're talking intensely. Padres and Cardinals still on the talk. So basically, he is expecting the Dodgers to land Soto, which is very, very concerning. But I know we've been talking about Soto so much, so not ideal. Not ideal to say the least.
Guys. Woo!
So Mike Rodriguez, that's a guy here. Let me I can show you guys this tweet real quick. I think not good.
Is Josh Bell getting traded right now?
Maybe. Let's see. So this is the tweet right here. Mike Rodriguez. This is his tweet. So I don't think it's over, but definitely not ideal. That is for sure. So very, very scary right there. I mean, we've talked about a bunch of other options, but it is the Dodgers. I mean, this is one of those classic ones where it's like, oh yeah, the Dodgers aren't going to get this dude. Oh yeah. And I said this before. I think I said this like a week ago. Like, yeah, I know it's going to happen, bro. Oh, Padres are front runners. Oh shit, we know what that means.
Padres.
Chase, you heard that one before, huh?
I think I mentioned that in the last live stream too. Every time we've been connected to a big trade, what happens?
Dude, I was talking about that
guys?
this morning with Hader because Hader came out of the blue. Like Mania came out of the blue. Voit didn't really come out of the blue. Maybe that was just on our front. Maybe that was like for general public. I don't know, but like most of these trades, like, yeah. So yeah, okay. Rojo said that dude's Rodriguez is a beat writer for the Cubs. So a little bit out of the blue why he would know, but apparently he's very accurate. So not good at all.
Maybe it's just reverse jinx. The Dodgers are the front runners now, and the Padres are going to swoop in and steal them. I don't know. I doubt it, but one can hope. It's going to help me sleep at night, knowing that we were never the front runners for Soto, and he didn't get stolen from us. It'll help me sleep at night.
Okay, I got a question for you. Say that the Padres were the front runners for Soto, but a lot of the stuff that's been said is that they didn't want to part with James Wood. if the Padres don't worry, Alex, we already are on it. If the Padres do not get Soto because James Wood was not being involved in the deal, how do you feel about that? Like him being the difference? Because I've seen some people say
you
like,
have to draw the line.
do you?
I think so. Because
I
remember,
think so too, but it's hard.
Because remember, Soto said he's not going to re-sign with you.
Well, not that he's not going to re-sign, but that he's not going to not test the open market.
Which means he's not going to re-sign with the Padres.
And it sure as hell isn't going to be a team-friendly deal.
No, he's not going to re-sign with the Padres. Let's be real with ourselves here. He's probably not going to sign with the Padres. I'd give it like a 5 to 10% chance that he signs with the Padres and a 40 to 50% chance he signs with the Dodgers or the Yankees. Hell, even the Cardinals can pay him. It would make sense for him to go to one of those teams because they can extend him and be like, yeah, you know what? We can deal with the consequences of the luxury tax. Draft picks, we don't need those. We develop our own talent. We don't need all those tricks. All those taxes that come with it. We have so much revenue from TV deals and from players jersey sales, from selling food, selling beer at our places. Yeah, Mookie, we don't need that. They can do that. We can't.
Yeah, that is true. But even the Yankees to a lesser extent recently. Like the Yankees are kind of afraid to pay Judge. So yeah, it does make a little bit more sense, but that would be a huge blow for the deadline. That's the thing though. If they get him, the Dodgers are already clearly have kind of ran away with first place in NL West. Not officially, but like pretty clear. But if the Cardinals don't have him, like look what you do. You go and you upgrade other spots and you kind of you adjust that way, and you still make it the playoffs. But that's definitely a huge blow.
Why do you guys keep bringing up Marisnik? You guys trying to get me mad.
Did you not see earlier when everyone was spamming trade for Marisnik, Gore for Marisnik?
No, I did not. Thank God. I think I was on the Baseball Savant page looking up everybody's stats.
Yeah, everyone was saying Gore for Marisnik. No, there's still a lot of other guys to get. Potentially maybe Josh Bell then. You said that he was going there?
He was trending on Twitter right now.
Wonder why. Yeah, so no one official has said anything about Soto, but besides Rodriguez. On to Ohtani, yeah. I still think Ohtani's more likely to resign. Like we were saying that earlier. But yeah. What about this one, Chase?
Some of you guys just want to watch the world burn, don't you?
Oh, yeah, Marisnik. What if the Padres got Marisnik again? How would you feel about that?
Why are you doing this to me, Matt? There's like he'll come in and he'll sit on the bench and we'll give up some like slap. I wouldn't care if we give up like a low end prospect. Like, okay, you need your outfield depth. He has an arm. He can play center field. Hell, he might even hit better than Trent Grisham right now. Be my guess, but you don't give up a top 10 prospect for him.
Bro, how is Marisnik
Rays are acquiring Jose Siri from the Astros as a part of a 3-team deal, sending Trey Mancini to the Astros.
Yeah, that's part of that deal from before.
Yep.
Yeah. So Brian Reynolds, I don't think Brian Reynolds is getting traded. Sounds like they want a fat overpay for whoever gets him. So I wouldn't expect him to get traded. Christian for Marisnik for real. Dude, I don't know how Marisnik's been in the league that long. He has like his number, like I guess he's just kind of
his number. It's because he has an arm and he's good defensively.
Yeah, so he's like kind of like that solid option off the bench. Like
late inning. And I think he's faster. He had what was Trent Grisham's OPS plus?
If
you remember.
81, I think it was.
Wow, Marisnik is slightly doing better than him.
85.
Marisnik's hitting 234 with a 272 on base and a 390 slugging for a 661 OPS and an 85 OPS plus. Slight upgrades, people.
Career year.
Upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes with the Soto stuff, but I definitely still think you can make upgrades. I mean, we talk about so many different guys today. There's a lot of outfielders on the market. None of them are going to be as impactful, of course not. But yeah, I don't know, Chase. I think that your points are fair because some people didn't. I don't know if you saw it. People did not like that you didn't want Soto when we talked about it. Because they're like, "What do you mean? Like, we got to get Soto?" And I get it. I get it. How's it going, Ace? I see he just hopped in the chat. Ace, did you hear the recent news? I'm gonna share it again. Maybe not the best thing to share.
Don't worry, Ace. If you're in a good mood, Matt's about to ruin it for you.
Here we go. All right, Ace is about to be very sad right here. I'm sorry, Ace. I didn't mean to ruin your day. I know Friar Talk is probably a place where you want to see positive things, but not good, Ace. Not good. And everyone here has already seen this. I want to see some of these comments. I think we're going to see some funny stuff or quote tweets. I don't know what this guy's thinking.
That's going to be a bunch of Cardinals fans saying, "No, we are."
Oh, come on. Oh, that's
it would make sense because he does such what you call it. We're not trolling, bro. That's a real tweet.
Yeah,
that's
a legit. That's a Cubs beat reporter.
Pretty good. He's pretty accurate when it comes to his stuff, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. And he doesn't say it's official, but maybe it's look. You give us James Wood, or we're giving him to the Dodgers. Maybe it could come down to that. I think that could make sense if Wood has been the guy, not. Dude, Marcus, this is what I was saying, man. They need to be investigated.
They need to be investigated by the SEC for insider trading.
Yeah, why is this one pro team? The other pro team's farm system. This doesn't make any sense, man. They traded the three best players
Cardinals
within 2
hacked
years.
people for their farm systems. Oh God! Everybody just forgot about that one, huh?
Wait, what happened?
The Cardinals hacked the Astros. You guys don't remember this?
I don't remember this.
Yeah, dude, they got in serious trouble because they hacked the Astros systems and stuff for their farm to see players and stuff. Let me
like to
find
see
it.
like
Cardinals
advanced metrics and things.
Yeah, I think so. What was it?
Oh my God, dude! MLB teams are so, dude. They're so dirty, bro. They do so much illegal shit. Like,
yeah, let me find out exactly what they did. They did hack the Astros, though.
I'm gonna say, you guys remember the whole Colin Ray thing with the Padres? Not like the Padres are not in this, but like, dude, over like the last 10 years, MLB teams have gotten ripped left and right for basically just cheating consistently.
Yeah, dude, he went to prison.
No way.
So, Cardinals analyst Chris Correa hacked into the Astros internal database. What else did he do? Let me find it.
Daniel, this has been our mistake every deadline. Don't listen to that guy. We can't. Or a Heyman.
Yeah, you can't believe Heyman after he said Musgrove got extended by the Cubs for 5 years, $100 million.
Oh no, something tragic has happened. Not relating to the Padres. Oh, Hector Gomez just tweeted it. Oh, I gotta check this out.
Not Brett Phillips. No.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say, dude. Brett Phillips has been DFA. Oh no, the baseball world is going into shambles at this point. Okay, I gotta find Hector Gomez's tweet now. I'll pop it up when I find it. So Hector Gomez has been known to not be the most accurate. but he has nailed some things. Oh, he just quote tweeted the tweet. Okay. Let's see.
So the Cardinals, it was to the point where the FBI and the Justice Department got involved because the Cardinals hacked into the internal database. Former Cardinal scouting director Chris Correa was sentenced to 46 months in prison, and the Cardinals had to pay the Astros $2 million, and then the two highest picks in the 2017 draft picks were awarded to the Astros. And then Correa has been placed on the permanently ineligible list, which means he's been permanently banned from baseball.
Damn, dude, I did not know that happened. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is crazy. There's a lot of cheating in baseball. I mean, I'm sure there's similar. I mean, well, we saw the tampering in the NBA, but like that's kind of different because like everyone tampers. Or it's like, what was it? Didn't Magic?
Baseball's like, just a little corrupt, man. Just a little bit.
Remember when Magic Johnson was like, yeah, like I won't flat out tell him that I want him to come to LA, but I'll give him a little wink, wink. He did that on like live TV. And then they get like the next day, the Lakers got investigated for tampering. Oh man. Oh, all right. Anything else we want to talk about before we take off? We've been on here for a little bit now.
See, Joel, here's the thing. You have the pay-to-win teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees. We're sort of up there now, but not really. But the Dodgers, really. Yankees, and I'm forgetting what other team is incredibly up there, and all the Red Sox. But most of the time, you get to watch them fall out in October because, yeah, they may make the playoffs every year, but they never win it. They never win it. The Braves won it last year. They weren't the highest payroll. They actually had some pretty good guys on cheap deals. The Dodgers won it in 2020, which we can consider that a Mickey Mouse title. The Astros, unfortunately, won it in 2017, but they weren't a pay-to-win team. They just straight up cheated.
There's always that tactic, right? Straight up cheat.
Like, most of the time, the big dogs don't win it. It's always the wild card teams. They get hot at the right time, and guess what? They win it. Hacks, don't speak that into existence. Go knock on some wood. I don't want to see the Astros win again. Okay. No, seeing Justin Verlander win another ring would be kind of cool because him coming off Tommy John and being an absolute monster again at 38 is absolutely insane. That man is a dog.
Yeah, definitely is. I'm trying to look at the past World Series champs. Yeah, I mean, it used to be a lot more like pay to win. Like those teams would win a lot. I mean, yeah, you got Nationals. Nationals were a wild card, weren't they?
Yeah, Nationals were wild card. I was trying to figure out 2019 yet. The Nationals in 2019, Braves last year. Can't count
Red
Dodgers.
Sox before that, 2018. Astros, Cubs. I mean, the Cubs were paying a lot, but they kind of but they weren't really they had built their whole team.
They developed most of their talent though.
Yeah. And then you have Royals, Giants, Red Sox, Giants, Cardinals, Giants. And the Cardinals one was crazy. Of course, everyone remembers that one. So you'd have to go to 2009 to it's like a team pay to win it. Except were the Red Sox really pay to win in either of those championships? I feel like they weren't. Maybe a little bit, but they're not they're not even that crazy of a degree usually. They just consistently spend a good amount. They don't go through phases of up and down like a lot of teams do. Like the Phillies, right? Like the Phillies will pay a bunch and then they'll drop off. Joel said he's hoping for a reverse Scherzer deal with Soto.
I mentioned that earlier. I don't want Soto, but seeing the Dodgers get screwed over like we did last year would be great.
It's also not that you don't want Soto, but you just think it's not worth it to trade for him.
That's true. Yeah.
I feel like if you say I don't want Soto, it's not like I don't like the player. Of course I know that. I realize that, but I wonder if everyone thinks that when you say that. If the Astros win Verlander, yeah, that's probably the only guy I'd be happy for on the Astros too. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're gonna bounce. Maybe we'll have another video today. Maybe it'll be a Soto trade. Maybe it will be, I don't know, Ian Happ, Contreras, Santander. There's a
I'll
bunch of
probably
names.
see Isaac instead of me since I'll be working. And I know it's been rare, but all three of us will be on a video shortly.
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
It's just been hard. Our schedules are super out of whack right now. But yeah, it's been fun to bounce around. Also, Chase and I are going to be going live on America's Finest Sports tomorrow at what, 4 o'clock, right? Like when's the first game? It's at 1. Whenever the
also,
first
we might
game
do it
ends,
before too because the trade deadline ends tomorrow.
yeah. But I think that we might do it right after the Padres game ends to just go over everything. That's what I was thinking.
Is that PM Pacific time or is it PM Eastern time?
Here, I'll send this in the chat. So
that sucks.
Yeah, so on America's Finest Sports, I'm going live tonight. I'm going to talk about Debo. I'm going to talk about Hader. Talk about some like breakout candidates and training camp battles. So some NFL stuff. And then Chase and I will be doing a trade deadline like frenzy type deal sometime tomorrow. And we'll have that set up probably tonight. So like the time's out there, but that's probably it for today. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hopefully these was it
do you want to post the Discord in here?
Oh, yeah. I'll send you guys the Discord too. Let me get that real quick. If you guys are interested in hopping on, we've been talking a little bit about the trade deadline in there. Let me send that as well.
You've also been talking a little fantasy football.
Oh, yeah. I think later this week on America's Finest Sports, we're going to be talking fantasy football as well, doing a few topics there, which I'm excited for because the scam is back. I'm sorry, Jonathan. I don't know. We can't shake this guy. most ruthless scam guy of all time. But yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it. Thank you guys for joining. Had a really fun time. And we will talk to you all very, very soon.